The ship came from the stars on a cold winter morning. It was bigger than any city on Earth. Its shadow covered the whole of Southeast Asia as it floated in the sky. Every television, every phone, every screen on the planet showed the same image. Humanity looked up and knew they were not alone. Colonel Park Do-yeon stood in the command center in Seoul. He was 52 years old, with gray hair and tired eyes. He had fought in 3 wars. He had seen terrible things, but nothing had prepared him for this. The alien ship hung in the sky like a mighty mountain. "How big is it?" he asked. Captain Lee Yuna checked her screen. She was young, only 31, but she was the smartest person in the room. She spoke 7 languages. She had spent the last 5 years listening to signals from space. 800 kilometers long, sir, she said. Her voice was calm, but her hands were shaking. It has enough weapons to burn every city on Earth. The aliens made contact 3 hours later. They called themselves the Kaluri Dominion. They had ruled this part of the galaxy for 10,000 years. They had conquered 200 worlds. They had never lost a war. Their ambassador appeared on every screen on Earth. It was tall, almost 3 meters, with skin like blue crystal. It had 4 arms and eyes that glowed like yellow fire. When it spoke, its voice was cold and empty. "People of Earth," it said, "we are the Kaluri Dominion. We have watched your world for many years. We know your strength. We know your weakness. You have 2 choices. Submit to our rule or be destroyed. You have 72 hours to decide." The world fell into chaos. Some people screamed. Some people cried. Some people prayed to their gods. Governments held emergency meetings. Military forces went to high alert. General Kim Tae-woo called a meeting of all Earth's military commanders. He was 73 years old, the oldest active general on the planet. His body was weak, but his mind was sharp as a knife. "They want us to be afraid," he said. "They want us to give up without a fight. I say we show them what humans are made of." Some commanders agreed. Others said it was suicide. The aliens had technology far beyond anything on Earth. Their weapons could destroy mountains. Their shields could stop nuclear bombs. Fighting them would be like ants fighting a giant. "Then we will be ants," General Kim said. "Ants that bite." Earth's military mobilized. 50 million soldiers prepared for war. Warships filled the oceans. Fighter jets filled the skies. Orbital defense platforms powered up their weapons. It was the largest military action in human history. The Kalari watched from their ship. They scanned Earth's forces with their advanced sensors. They counted every soldier, every tank, every plane, every ship. They calculated Earth's total military power, and they laughed. "These creatures are brave," the Kalari commander said to his officers. "But bravery is not enough. Their weapons are primitive. Their tactics are simple. This war will be over in hours." Colonel Park stood in the command center, watching the reports come in. Earth's forces were in position. Everyone was ready to fight. Everyone was ready to die. But Park had a secret. He walked to a private room and made a call on a secure line. The face that appeared on the screen was old, a woman with white hair and kind eyes. But Park knew those kind eyes had seen more death than anyone alive. "Is it time?" the woman asked. Her name was Oh My-rae. Officially, she had died 15 years ago. Officially, she did not exist. "Yes, grandmother," Park said. "Lazarus Protocol." The old woman smiled. It was not a kind smile. "I will wake the wolves." Deep beneath the Korean mountains, in a facility that appeared on no map, red lights began to flash. Men and women who had officially died years ago opened their eyes. They were not regular soldiers. They were something else entirely. Something the aliens had never seen. Something the aliens could not understand. They were the Special Forces in the command center. Captain Lee Yuna noticed something strange on her screen. Hidden signals were moving through military networks. Code she did not recognize. She looked at Colonel Park with questioning eyes. Park just smiled. Captain, do you know why the Kalari have conquered 200 worlds? Because they are stronger than everyone else? No, Park said. Because they have never met a predator before. They have met soldiers. They have met armies. They have met civilizations that fight in straight lines with honor and rules. He paused. They have never met us. Outside, the Kalari ship began its final approach. The countdown to invasion had begun. The aliens were confident. They had done this 200 times before. This would be no different. They had no idea how wrong they were. In the darkness beneath the mountains, the wolves were waking, and they were hungry. The war began at dawn. Kalari dropships fell from the sky like metal rain. Each one carried 100 alien soldiers with weapons that could cut through steel like paper. They landed in every major city on Earth: New York, Tokyo, London, Paris, Seoul. Earth's armies met them head-on. Tanks fired. Jets screamed through the sky. Soldiers fought with everything they had. The world watched the battle on their screens, thought it was a massacre. Kalari weapons burned through human armor like it was nothing. Their shields stopped every bullet, every missile, every bomb. In 3 hours, Earth lost 10,000 soldiers. The aliens lost 12. The world began to lose hope. People cried in the streets. Leaders talked about surrender. The Kalari commander broadcast a message to the whole planet. Your resistance is over, he said. Your armies are broken. Your weapons are toys. Accept our rule, or we will destroy everything you love. But deep in the command center, General Kim Tai-woo was smiling. They took the bait, he said to Colonel Park. They think they have won. Park nodded. The wolves are in position. Across the world, in the shadows that the aliens could not see, small teams of humans were moving. They did not wear uniforms. They did not march in lines. They did not fight like soldiers. They fought like ghosts. Master Sergeant Choi Sun-ho led a team of 4. They had been dropped into the ocean 20 kilometers from the Kalari flagship. They had swum through freezing water for 6 hours. Now they climbed the side of the alien ship in complete darkness. How much further? Whispered Lieutenant Bae Jian. She was the smallest person on the team, barely 160 centimeters tall. She carried enough explosives to destroy a building. 300 meters, Sun-ho whispered back. Stay silent. The aliens had sensors that could detect a mouse from a kilometer away. But they had designed those sensors to find armies, not shadows. They were looking for threats. They were not looking for 4 humans climbing their ship like spiders at the same time. Another team was moving through the Kalari ground base in Seoul. Sergeant Han Min-ho lay flat on a rooftop 2 kilometers away. He held a rifle that did not exist in any military record. His eye was pressed to a scope that showed him things no human eye should see. Target acquired, he said into his radio. Kalari Commander. Distance, 2.4 kilometers. Take the shot, came the reply. Han breathed out slowly. His finger touched the trigger. In the space between heartbeats, he fired. The Kalari commander's head exploded. The other aliens looked around in confusion. Their sensors had detected nothing. Their shields had stopped nothing. One moment, their commander was alive. The next moment, he was dead. They had never experienced anything like this. On the flagship, Sun-ho's team reached the engine room. Bae Jian looked at the massive power core with wide eyes. Beautiful, she whispered. Then she began placing her explosives. Corporal Yoon Yoonji plugged a small device into an alien computer. Her fingers danced across her keyboard. In seconds, she had broken through security that the Kalari believed was unbreakable. "I'm in," she said. "I can see everything. Their communications, their battle plans, their ship systems." She paused. "And I found something interesting." "What?" Sunho asked. "Their home world has 3 suns. It is never dark there." She smiled. "They are afraid of the dark." Sunho's eyes glowed with a new idea. "Can you kill the lights on this ship?" "Give me 2 minutes." On the planet below, more teams were moving. They captured alien officers and dragged them into the shadows. They destroyed supply lines. They killed commanders from impossible distances. The aliens could not find them. Their sensors saw nothing. Their shields protected nothing. The Kalari began to feel something new. Something they had not felt in 10,000 years of conquest. Fear. What is happening? The Kalari Admiral demanded. "How are they doing this? Our technology is 1,000 years ahead of theirs." No one could answer him. Then the lights went out. Every light on the flagship died at once. The aliens were plunged into complete darkness. For a species that had never known true night, it was like being dropped into Helldawn, and in that darkness, the wolves began to hunt. Screams echoed through the hallways of the flagship. Alien soldiers disappeared one by one. Bodies were found with necks broken, throats cut, eyes stabbed. The humans moved through the dark like they were born for it, because they were. Sunho found the Admiral hiding in his quarters. The alien was shaking, his crystal skin flickering with fear. "What are you?" the Admiral whispered. Sunho smiled. "We are human. We are special forces. And this is just the beginning." He knocked the Admiral unconscious and carried him into the shadows. The Kalari flagship, the pride of the Dominion Navy, had been taken without a single shot from Earth's conventional forces in the command center. General Kim watched the reports with tears in his eyes. "Send a message to the Dominion," he said. "Tell them their Admiral wants to talk." The wolves had drawn first blood, and they were hungry for more. The Kalari flagship exploded at exactly midnight. The blast was so bright it turned night into day. People all over Asia looked up and saw the fireball in the sky. For a moment, the whole world held its breath. Then the cheering began. But Sunho and his team did not celebrate. They were already moving to their next target. There were 11 more command ships in the alien fleet. By morning, 6 of them were burning. The aliens did not understand. They had sensors that could count the atoms in a grain of sand. They had weapons that could crack planets. They had shields that could stop nuclear explosions, but they could not stop 4 humans with knives and explosives in her submarine deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. Commander Omaire, the woman they called Grandmother, coordinated the attacks. 17 Special Forces teams were operating across the world. Each team had only 4 to 6 people. Together, they were doing more damage than Earth's entire conventional military. Team 7 has destroyed the Kalari communication hub in Europe, a voice reported through her radio. Team 12 has captured 3 enemy officers in South America. Team 3 has assassinated the ground commander in Moscow. Omaire smiled. She was 67 years old. She had white hair and wrinkles and hands that sometimes shook. But her mind was as sharp as any blade, and her heart was as cold as space. "Begin Phase 3, she said. "Make them afraid to sleep." The Kalari soldiers began hearing things in the night. Footsteps in empty hallways. Whispers in languages they did not understand. Their comrades would disappear without a trace. Sometimes they would find bodies. Sometimes they would not. The aliens stopped sleeping. Han Minho sat on a mountain in Tibet, 3 kilometers from a Kalari base. Through his scope, he watched alien soldiers walking in groups afraid to be alone. He had been there for 18 hours without moving. He had not eaten. He had not slept. He had not even blinked. He waited for the perfect shot. When it came, he took it. The Kalari general fell. By the time the other aliens looked up, Han was already gone. "Shot confirmed," he reported. "Moving to next position." "Good work," came the reply. "That is your 14th kill this week." 15, Han corrected. "I got one on the way here." Captain Lee Yuna worked day and night to understand the aliens. She studied their language. She studied their culture. She studied their psychology. And she found their weakness. "They have never hunted," she told Colonel Park. "On their home world, there are no predators. They became the dominant species because they were smarter than everything else. But they never had to hide. They never had to hunt in darkness. They never had to feel like prey. And now they do," Park said. "Yes, and they do not know how to handle it. Their morale is collapsing. Their soldiers are refusing to go on patrol. Their officers are hiding in bunkers." Park nodded slowly. "What happens when a species that has never known fear suddenly feels it?" "They break," Yuna said simply. "They break." On the last remaining Kalari flagship, the new admiral received a message from the Dominion homeworld. Reinforcements were coming. A fleet 5 times larger than the original invasion force. Enough ships to glass the entire planet, but the admiral was not relieved. He was terrified. "You do not understand," he said to the hologram of the Dominion Council. "These creatures are not like anything we have faced before. They do not fight like soldiers. They fight like monsters." "They are primitive animals," a council member said. "Our reinforcements will crush them. Our weapons do not touch them. Our sensors do not see them. They move through shadows like ghosts. They kill without sound. They have no fear, no mercy. They smile while they kill us." The council exchanged confused looks. In 10,000 years of conquest, they had never heard an admiral speak like this. "What are you saying?" another council member asked. The admiral looked directly into the camera. His crystal skin was pale. His 4 hands were shaking. "I am saying that in 10,000 years, we have conquered 200 worlds. We have faced 1,000 different species. We have won every war we have ever fought." He paused. "But we have never faced predators before. We have never faced hunters. These humans, they are not protecting their planet. They are hunting us for sport, and they are enjoying it." Deep in the mountains of Korea, Sunho received new orders. Phase 4 was beginning. They were going to take the war to the Kalari homeworld. How? Beijing asked. "We do not have ships." Sunho smiled. "We do not need ships. We have their ships." Behind him, Yoon Yoonji finished typing. "I have control of their FTL system. I can program their own ship to take us anywhere." "Pack light," Sunho said to his team. "We are going hunting." The wolves were coming, and this time, they were coming to the Kalari home. The Dominion reinforcement fleet arrived 3 weeks after the first invasion. 5,000 warships. Each one could destroy a continent. Together, they had enough firepower to turn Earth into dust. The Kalari High Commander stood on his bridge and looked at Earth on his screen. Such a small world. Such strange creatures. He did not understand why the first fleet had failed. "Begin the bombardment," he ordered. "Destroy their cities one by one until they surrender." But before his weapons could fire, alarms began screaming. "Commander, we have intruders on 17 of our ships." "That is impossible. We just arrived from FTL travel." "We just arrived from ESTA travel." No one could have devastating explosion rocked the ship. Then another. Then another. Across the fleet, chaos erupted. Engine rooms exploded. Weapons systems failed. Life support began venting into space. Ship after ship went dark. How? The commander screamed. How are they doing this? The answer came over his communication system. It was a human voice. Female. Old. Calm. Good morning, Commander. My name is Oh My Ray. You may call me Grandmother. I wanted to welcome you to our little corner of the galaxy. You put soldiers on our ships? Before we even arrived? Not before you arrived, dear. We put them there 2 weeks ago. Your ships have been waiting at your staging point for quite some time. Plenty of time for my children to get comfortable. The commander felt his blood turn cold. That is impossible. Your security is very good at finding armies, Grandmother interrupted. It is not so good at finding ghosts. On 12 Kalari colony worlds, rebellions began. The species that the Dominion had conquered long ago suddenly found hope. If tiny Earth could hurt the Dominion, maybe they could too. And among the rebels, there were whispers of strange creatures who moved through shadows. Creatures who taught them how to fight back. Creatures called humans. Back on Earth, Colonel Park Do-yeon received terrible news. Sunho's team had been captured on the Kalari homeworld. How? Park demanded. Sunho has never been caught. He let himself be caught, Yuna said quietly. He is sending us information from inside their main prison. Park closed his eyes. He remembered Sunho from years ago. A young soldier with empty eyes and a quiet voice. A soldier who had once killed 18 enemy fighters with nothing but a knife and a piece of wire. He knows what they will do to him, Park said. Yes, he does not care. In the Kalari prison, Sunho hung from chains. His body was broken. His blood dripped onto the floor. The alien interrogators stood around him with tools that were designed to cause maximum pain. Tell us about your forces, the head interrogator demanded. How many special soldiers do you have? Where are they? Sunho looked up through swollen eyes. He was missing 3 fingers. His ribs were cracked. He had not slept in 4 days, and he was smiling. I am not going to tell you anything, he said. But I will give you some advice. Advice? The interrogator laughed. What advice could a broken human give us? Run. The lights went out. In the darkness, there were screams. Not human screams. Kalari screams. The sound of bodies hitting the floor. The wet noise of blades cutting through flesh. When the lights came back on, 6 interrogators were dead. Sunho was free from his chains. And standing beside him were 3 figures in black. Took you long enough, Sunho said. We had to take out the guard stations first, Beijian replied. She was covered in blue blood. She did not seem to notice. Are you okay? I am fine. Did you bring my fingers? They were too damaged, sorry. Sunho shrugged. I have 7 more. They moved through the prison like shadows. Every door opened before them. Every guard fell without a sound. When they reached the control room, Yoon Yoonji plugged in her device. I am broadcasting everything, she said. Every prisoner on this planet is being freed. Every security code is being leaked. The Kalari government network is now full of viruses that will take them years to clean. Good, Sunho said. Now let us go home. On the Kalari homeworld, chaos spread. The prison break was just the beginning. Fires started in government buildings. Power stations exploded. Leaders received death threats written in their own language. The Kalari Council met in emergency session. For the first time in 10,000 years, they were not discussing conquest. They were discussing survival. We must destroy Earth, one council member said. Kill them all. Every single one. We cannot, another replied. They have spread to our colony worlds. They are on our ships. They may already be here, on the homeworld, watching us right now. The room fell silent. Every council member looked into the shadows. Every council member wondered if something was looking back. Then what do we do? Someone asked Dot. No one answered Dot in the darkness outside the council chamber. A human soldier listened and smiled. Then she disappeared into the night, moving toward her next target. The hunt was not over yet. The final battle did not happen on a battlefield. It happened in shadows, in whispers, in the spaces between heartbeats. The Kalari hardliners, the ones who refused to surrender, launched a desperate attack on Earth. 100 warships, all they had left, aimed their weapons at the blue planet that had caused them so much pain. Fire everything, the hardliner commander ordered. Kill them all. Every man, every woman, every child. Burn their world to ash. The weapons charged. The targeting systems locked Dot, and then, one by one, the ships began to die. Not from Earth's defenses, not from missiles or bombs. They died from the inside. Engines exploded. Life support failed. Navigation systems sent ships crashing into each other. They are on our ships, someone screamed. The humans are on our ships. The hardliner commander tried to give orders, but his crew would not listen. They were running for the escape pods. They were crying. They were praying to gods they had forgotten centuries ago. Stand and fight, the commander bellowed. We are the Kalari Dominion. We do not run. But they did run, because they had learned the truth that the rest of the galaxy was now learning. You do not fight humans. You survive them. If you are lucky. On the flagship, Sung-Ho found the commander alone on the bridge. The alien was holding a weapon with shaking hands. I will kill you, the commander said. I will kill you and become a hero. Sun-Ho stopped walking. He looked at the alien with something that might have been pity. You have two choices, Sun-Ho said. You can surrender and live, or you can fight and die. The Kalari do not surrender. Then why is your government surrendering right now? The commander's face fell. He looked at his communication screen. It was true. The Kalari Council, those who remained alive, were sending a message of surrender to Earth. The war was over. Sun-Ho walked forward and gently took the weapon from the commander's hands. Go home, Sun-Ho said. Go home and tell your people what you saw here. Tell them about the humans. Tell them what happens when you try to hurt our world. The commander fell to his knees. What are you? Sun-Ho thought about the question. He thought about the years of training, the missions in darkness, the friends he had lost, the things he had done. We are what happens when a peaceful species learns to be dangerous, he said. We are the wolves that humanity keeps in the shadows. We are the reason no one should ever threaten our planet. He turned and walked away. Behind him, the commander began to cry. 6 months later, Earth officially joined the Galactic Council. Captain Lee Yuna, now Ambassador Lee Yuna, represented humanity before the gathered species of the Orion Arm. They looked at her with fear. This small human woman, standing barely 165 centimeters tall, represented a species that had broken the unbreakable dominion. We come in peace, she said. Humanity does not want to conquer. We do not want to rule. We want to trade. We want to learn. We want to be friends. No one believed her. Not entirely. But no one argued either. Colonel Park Do-yeon retired from active service. Some days were hard. He dreamed of the war. He dreamed of the things he had ordered done. But he found peace in training the next generation of soldiers, teaching them not just how to fight, but why to fight. Ha Min-ho put down his rifle and picked up farming tools. He bought a small piece of land in the mountains and grew vegetables. Sometimes, children from the nearby village would visit. He would teach them how to be patient, how to breathe, how to see without looking. He never told them about the war. He did not have to. They could see it in his eyes. Beijian did not survive the final battle. She died destroying a weapon that would have killed millions. Her body was never found, but her name was carved into a monument in Seoul. The inscription read, "She was small, but her heart was larger than the sun." Yoon Yoonji became the head of Earth's new Galactic Intelligence Division. She built systems that protected humanity from threats they did not even know existed. Sometimes she smiled at her computer and whispered, "I see you." Somewhere in the galaxy, an alien spy suddenly felt very afraid. And grandmother, Commander Oh My Ray, simply disappeared. Some said she retired to a small island. Some said she died. Some said she was still out there, watching over humanity from the shadows. Those who knew her best believed the last story. Years later, a young alien child asked her parent why all the other species feared humans. Because, the parent said, when the universe made predators, it gave them claws and teeth and poison. When it made humans, it gave them something more dangerous. What? The ability to choose. Humans can choose to be kind. They can choose to be peaceful. They can choose to be your best friend. The parent paused. But they can also choose to become monsters. And when they do, nothing in the universe can stop them. The child thought about this. Are they monsters? No, little one. They are something worse. They are people who can become monsters when they need to, and then become people again. Somewhere in the galaxy, a human special forces team moved through shadows on a planet far from Earth. They were not conquering. They were protecting a weak species from a stronger one. It was what they did now. What humanity did. In the darkness between stars, Sunho looked up at the sky. His hands were scarred. His body was tired. But his heart was at peace. He had been a wolf, a monster, a weapon. But today, he was a protector. And that was enough. The hunt was over, but the wolves would always be ready. Just in case.